Good evening. This is Juanita, the health nanny here. Just wanted to coming on here this week and this weekend. I'm sitting here on my porch relaxing, reflecting, and wanted to share with you a little bit of my health journey when it comes to weight loss and weight gain and that challenge that we women face. I hope the rain in the background's not too noisy for you. Having some beautiful showers here this evening. I started out as a teenager, young adult. I was one of the thinnest ones in the group. Not an anorexic sort of thinness, just a nice, healthy, attractive, slim waist, athletic build. Always had tons of energy, could eat like a horse and never gain the weight. It was incredible and it was fun. And honestly, the envy of other women. But that began to change about age 28. Started getting a little rounder around the hips, and then even into my 30s, started putting a few pounds on. I didn't really like that, but I was just okay with it. And then towards late 30s, early 40s, I really started putting the weight on, more like 5 pounds a year, and I wasn't cool with that. I tried to believe the American thing of, when you're middle aged, you just gain weight, and that's just the way it is. But I couldn't quite be okay with it. I kept the number in the back of my head for what I should be at, the weight I should be at, never left me, and it was honestly my age 16 or 18 weight. It was 125 pounds. I kept thinking it'd be really cool to get back to 125 pounds, but I knew it was just impossible. I knew it was just a pipe dream. Well, make a long story short, I started having all kinds of other health issues. It's pretty much climaxed after an auto accident in 2015. I was left with chronic back pain and neck pain that just wouldn't go away, even with physical therapy and medication. In fact, the medication they put me on to kill the pain and to relax the muscles in my back actually left me with diarrhea, constant or chronic diarrhea, and it became constant as the years went on. Also, my heart started acting worse. Now, I had some heart issues, like some, irregular heartbeat once in a while, arrhythmia or whatever, and also sometimes the whole organ would lunge. It was really weird. It convulsed and stuff. It did that in my 20s and 30s. But here in my 40s, the PVCs got to be a real issue. I ended up in the emergency room with it, where, they were so bad I couldn't sleep. They did some testing, I guess kind of stabilized me and sent me home and encouraged me to go to a cardiologist. Well, okay guys, I was at a point where I was living hand to mouth, didn't have a husband or family supporting me financially. I didn't have money for an exploration journey. And the thing was, I had gut issues, constant diarrhea. I had skin issues. I had lost all my freckles. I couldn't tan or burn at that point. I had cardiovascular issues, obviously. I developed a cough that I could not get rid of. And I was putting on weight. I didn't know it was all connected. Oh, I also had hormonal issues. And that fall, I developed a breast lump as well. It was going from bad to worse. My friends were telling me, get some help, go to a doctor. Well, I didn't know where to start. And my brain was starting to get foggy from the pain and from everything that was going on in my body was actually starving my brain. And I was getting scared. I finally got to that point of wondering, was I going to lose my job? I was helping run a $1 million company as well as running my own business on the side. And I wondered how long I'd better keep that up, the way I was feeling. I get so tired, you guys. Some of you ladies can identify with this. So tired, I could hardly make it through work. In fact, sometimes I would end up on the couch in the break room just sleeping for 10 minutes or just resting, just to gather my breath, gather my strength, and go back to my office chair. And it was bad. Like I said, I wondered if I would lose my job just because I was feeling so awful. And I would pray, God, help me to not make mistakes in the books. I was doing the financials for the business, the accounting, and I'm like, God, help me not to make a mistake. And I would go home so tired I would not have the energy to make myself food or even like to wash my dishes. It was bad. I was 42 years of age. And crawling out of the car was like crawling out like an old lady, you know, where you put your feet out, you pull yourself out, you reach back in for your purse. Yeah, 42 years of age. And I'm like, how am I going to be when I'm 80 if I'm like this already? Like I said, my friends were like getting scared for me, and they were like, do something. Well, I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing. I had already been labeled years before that with, you know, some of my other health issues. I had been labeled by doctors as, you know, it's all in your head. And I didn't want that again. Some of you women have had that experience too. You know, when they can't figure you out, they just label you as you got it going on in your head. It's a head issue. Well, I knew it wasn't a head issue, but I just didn't know where to start, and I just didn't know what to do. Finally, one night, I hit the floor on my knees. I think I even laid my face on the floor, and I was like, God, help me. Show me what to change in my lifestyle. Show me what to change spiritually. Show me what doctor to go to. Just help me, because I felt like I was like on the edge of a cliff, and I was going to fall off if I didn't get help. Honestly, that summer, I kept thinking cancer. And I know I'm not a hypochondria kind of person. It wasn't that kind of thought. It was more like I knew it wasn't very far away if I didn't get help. And so I was concerned. Well, the very next day after I prayed that prayer, I was over in Fort Mill, North Carolina, like an hour and a half from home, on a business trip. And I happened to run across Dr. Jeff Legree. And, you know, it was only a God thing, because there's no way that our paths could have crossed in the moment they did. It was totally, if I told you all those circumstances, there was no way. I wasn't even supposed to be over there for as long as I did. But because I stayed longer, I happened to meet this doctor who was going to change my life. And he told me what he was doing here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I knew it was God's answer for me. I didn't know what all the journey would include, but I knew it was God's answer. And by this point, I was so sick, I wasn't really thinking about weight. In the back of my mind, I remember telling myself, you know, if I could lose 5 pounds in this whole process of getting healthy, that would be really cool. I had no idea I was going to lose the massive amount of weight I was going to. I'm going to show you some pictures here that I just had in my wallet. They're not very good pictures here, but I'll post some better pictures later. I don't know if you can see it here. See that person? And that person? And that person? Yeah, that was me. That was me at that time. 45 pounds heavier than now. And basically no energy, whacked out hormones, thyroid issues, hair that was falling out in clumps and brittle. It was awful. One person likened it to being looking like a witch's hair, like a broomstick, because my hair was so brittle. Yeah, that was me. Constant diarrhea, sick. I didn't even know how sick. All I could feel was the most glaring issues. Dr. Legree has an amazing ability of getting down to the root cause of what's going on in a body, and he didn't focus in on any one of my symptoms. He actually helped me get to the root of them all. Seriously, guys, he didn't focus on a symptom. He went to the root, and it happened to be the root of all of them. He found out I had some massive autoimmune going on in my immune system. My immune system was just broken. My adrenals were crashed. And like I told you, my other organs were breaking down. My brain was getting foggy. All this stuff was happening, and it boiled down to a lot of autoimmune, antibiotic-resistant infections, and hormones that needed straightened out. And he guided me through the process and showed me how to do that for myself. And as a result, in a month and a half, I was back at the gym, weighing 19 pounds less in a month and a half. I was eating more than I was before. I had been exercising less, and I had lost 19 pounds. I was feeling pretty cool. And the weight just continued to evaporate off of me. I say evaporate because I was not doing anything to lose weight. I was eating healthy foods, the foods my body wanted, and we can guide you through all that. I'll tell you the rest of the story in a second. But I was eating as much as I wanted and getting healthier, and as a result, my body let go of the weight it no longer needed. You see, ladies especially, I want you to understand this. Your weight issue is usually not a lifestyle issue and not, eating chips all the day. It's not that problem. It's not an exercise issue. It's actually an internal health issue that you're not aware of. And Dr. Legree helped me crack the code on my weight issue. I now weigh what I did in my in my teens. And I have the energy I did in my 20s. It's incredible. I can go and go and go. And yes, I have time to wash my dishes and make my food now. And as a result, God asked me, and Dr. Legree asked me to come on board. And so now I am the health intervention specialist here at Beyond Limits, working alongside Dr. Legree and helping other people like myself to crack the code on not only their weight loss, on a lot of other chronic issues. You see, we're so used to dealing with symptoms here in America. We need to get down to root cause and really find out why our body's not functioning the way God created it to be. When you find that answer, you'll be surprised what health actually feels like. I've been surprised. I'll just give you a little more of a view on me compared to this. Yeah. I'll post more before and after pictures later, but I just wanted to encourage you that you don't have to be okay with America's fluffy 50s look and weight and feel. It doesn't have to be you. It's not you. The number I had in my head, I had a number 125 pounds in my head. That's what I weighed when I was like 16 years old, 16 to age 18. And honestly, that's where my weight drifted back to. And that's the average of what I weigh right now. And it's just incredible. You probably have a number in your head too. And that's where you would be if your body was actually perfectly healthy. My lab results now are picture perfect. I mean, they're like in the good zones for my thyroid, my pancreas, my blood sugar levels, my inflammation levels. It's just incredible. So I just want to encourage you, if you want help, if you would like to, crack the code on your own health difficulties and really get some real answers, I would encourage you to sit down with Dr. Legree and really go over what you're dealing with and really find a game plan that's going to work for you. Just give me a call. I'll be happy to talk with you more. My number is 864-412-8141. That's actually our office number. And I'll answer, or my assistant will answer. And you can just ask to talk to me if you want. I'd be happy to talk with you and just see what you're dealing with. Have a great day.